That's Nthakoana Ngatane is in Maseru, and we're live to her now in the Mountain Kingdom. Good afternoon, Nthakoana, and thank you for your time on the PM News Desk.
Good afternoon, Krishni.
Good. The final stretch to elections now. A crucial meeting on the cards today. Did that meeting between SADC mediator Cyril Ramaphosa and coalition leaders go ahead?
Well, Krishni, what we can tell you is that there is disappointment all around here in Lesotho today. All sides of the political divide expressing deep disappointment that Deputy President Cyril Ramaphosa, a SADC facilitator, will no longer be coming to Lesotho this afternoon, from what we understand. And of course, the Lesotho National Party, the coalition partner, saying that it was hoping that Ramaphosa would add more impetus to what it called a worsening security situation here in Lesotho, and the main opposition, Democratic Congress, saying it was hoping that Ramaphosa would lend more weight to reigning in Prime Minister Nthakoana and preventing him from violating an electoral pledge that it says was supposed to refrain from appointing senior civil servants and firing them. Krishna?
Nthakoana, some opposition to Cyril Ramaphosa being voiced now, but he did mediate at a very crucial time, a volatile time, and secure a peace deal successfully, and indeed a time frame for elections. Why the change of heart toward him now?
Well, from what we have been trying to establish, and we, as I say, have spoken to one of the coalition partners at the Lesotho National Party, because we had heard that there were some young people in the Lesotho Students' Convention that wanted to hold a march here in Maseru tomorrow. They have now said that they had put off that march in preparation for these talks, that were supposed to happen, to give them time to evolve and perhaps resolve some of the issues. But the young people, the students, were saying that they are unhappy with his focus on the security, that it is not sufficient. They were also saying that they want to address the issue of the issuing of a tender for the printing of the ballot papers here in Lesotho. That the young people were saying, or the students were saying, that perhaps he may have had a hand in. But of course, he has come out to say, first of all, he does not even take part in the processes of issuing work for elections working here in Lesotho, but also that he is no longer, he doesn't have any interest any longer in the company that has been awarded the tender, which is called Lesotho Export. But this is part of the reason that we are beginning to establish may have caused the retraction at this point in time, or the delay in Deputy President Ramaphosa coming through, although his spokesperson hasn't come through to actually give us the reasons behind the delay in coming. We are still at a point where we're trying to establish, but as I said, we've spoken to the political parties, and they have now been informed that he will not be coming to Lesotho today, as was initially scheduled, or as they were expecting, and they are saying that they're hoping that he will come through soon, because, as you say, it is a crucial time. We have about 3 weeks to go to elections, and all the parties are hoping that that election will happen.
Nthakoana, the Human Rights Commission in Lesotho today voicing some concerns about the security conditions in the run-up to the polls, and we did have some shootings earlier on last month. How healthy is that relationship between the police and the army right now? It was a relationship that soured greatly last year, and cooperation between these two security apparatus will be crucial for any successful poll.
I think probably fragile is how you can describe that relationship between the police and the army here in Lesotho. Now, in the past few days, we saw Prime Minister Nthakoana once again, and this is a complaint that the main opposition, the Democratic Congress, has forwarded. We saw him elevating a senior police officer to become deputy commissioner, and it is now believed that yesterday the acting commissioner of police who was put in that place after the commissioner left following the signing of the Maseru Security Accord, in which the Commissioner of Police has gone on a leave of absence. We have now heard that that acting commissioner may perhaps be removed, or has been offered to get out of that position, and we believe that it is because the one who has now been elevated to the position of deputy commissioner is actually the preferred one to take over as acting commissioner. Now, that alone, the Democratic Congress says, signifies the way in which Prime Minister Nthakoana is taking control of the police. So you remember that when he took over as Prime Minister, where initially the police were under the Ministry of Home Affairs and usually were under a Deputy Prime Minister. When he took over as Prime Minister, because of the coalition government, he then took both the Defence Force, which is under the Ministry of Defence, as well as the police, into his ministry or into under his arm as the Prime Minister. And the opposition Democratic Congress is saying perhaps this is one of the problems that they want the facilitator to address. So yes, the relationship at the moment beginning or climaxing from the January bombings, where the police had then said we suspect the army, but the army did not coordinate with the police in order to have the people that were suspected investigated. The relationship has been fragile. It climaxed on August 30th when we saw the army taking over police stations, and it has not quite improved much. And we saw again, as you said, although this time it was the army alone, the army shootings.
Thank you, Nthakoana, live to us from Maseru in Lesotho. Moving on to other news now. An Egyptian court has imposed life sentences on 230 secular activists from the 2011 revolt against longtime strongman Hosni Mubarak. Well, that verdict, which can be appealed, has been described as the harshest delivered so far against non-Islamist activists. Hundreds of Islamist supporters of Hosni Mubarak's successor, Mohamed Morsi, have been sentenced to death in speedy trials described by the United Nations as unprecedented in recent history. All 269 defendants were convicted of taking part in clashes with security forces near Cairo's Tahrir Square in December 2011. They were also found guilty of assaulting security forces and setting alight government buildings. The defendants were also ordered to pay a combined fine of $2.2 million. In Egypt, one can serve up to 25 years of a life sentence. But rights groups and critics of CC say authorities are using the judiciary as an arm to repress any form of dissent. The European Union has also criticized the decision, saying Egypt is violating its international human rights obligations. It's called on the Egyptian authorities to respect their international obligations and ensure the right to a fair trial.
Well, this story is basically about South Africa's top 3 mine bosses, namely Glassenberg, Mr. Motsipe and Desasco, packing in millions despite, the strikes at Marikana and so forth.